Now this is the Borden Historical Society's oral history project.
Mm-hmm.
Oral life histories are video life portraits, interviews covering life experiences, contributions, and achievements as told by people that have been interviewed. And today we're here with Kermit Eugene Karnes, and he's said he would sit down with me here a little bit, and I'm going to try not to keep him from working. So we're going to do this now with starting off with Kermit, and my name's Marvin Overstreet, just for the record. We'll start off, Kermit, with your birth and early years. So
June the 16th, 1943. Or June the 6th, June the 14th, 1943.
June 14?
14,
June 14.
Born on Flag Day.
1940, there was one flag. And was you born? Where was you born at?
What?
Where was you born?
Salem, Indiana.
Salem. Okay.
North Main Street.
North Main Street in Salem. Okay. And did you go to school up there? Or?
Never went to school in Washington County.
You didn't?
Well, I did. I take it back. West Washington, long years ago in Campbellsburg.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
I went 6th and 7th grade out. Well, I started, 6th and 7th out there, but I went to South Tello.
Oh, yeah, I know where it's at.
And that little one-room schoolhouse.
Yeah.
I was there in the 5th grade, and then I started to Campbellsburg.
Is that right? Wow. And then you went to school down here, I guess, or?
I went to school in about 6 different places.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to primary school, 1st, 2nd grade, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I guess, in an old school that was called Fort Fulton in Jeffersonville.
Is that right? Wow.
No longer there.
Is that right?
And I think I transferred to McCullough from that, out there on Blackston Mill Road. Father worked for a Graham nursery for several years, and I went to school down there, and then I finally transferred to Thomas Jefferson when they built that new schoolhouse out there on 60 Hembrook Pike. And oh heck, I never did go to school out of state.
Yeah.
And I didn't finish school. I was raised on a farm, and I helped my grandfather when I was 14, 15, 16, 17, something like that. And I quit him and got married.
Is that right? Wow. So where'd you go? Where'd you work at? And you tell me about your marriage too, don't you? You know, where you got married.
Yeah, got married in 1962.
1962.
September 1st, 1962. Married a girl local here. Lived right off the highway here, Roberta Wells. And what else? Well, I worked at Cornwall Company in Paoli for a few years. Living down here, drove it 34 miles one way every day for almost 3 years. And I quit there and I went down to Robertson Strike in New Albany, and I was a machine operator down there. And that played off after a few years because I got fired from the job because I didn't show up a couple of days, and I was the only one to run the machine.
Yeah.
So that put them in a quandary, you know. I went back and asked for the job, and they said, well, we thought you quit, so we just terminated your job.
Oh, wow.
And I told them, I said, I didn't beg you for this job, and I won't beg you to keep it.
There you go. I worked there when I was about 16 years old.
Oh, yeah?
I worked. They put me. I went to work at the Floyd County Parks Department. We lived in New Albany, and I worked out there. So I got off about 4:30, left there and went to Robertson Strike, and I was trying to pay for a car when I was 16. And I don't know. They hired me, but they wouldn't let me do much. I was making samples with. They cut samples and tape them. You know, they let me do that, and that's the only thing they let me do.
He's back on the sample table.
Yeah, sample table, and I worked that till 2 o'clock in the morning. Then I got off 2 o'clock in the morning, had to be back at the parks by about 7:30 or 8. I did that for a while. Yeah, it's Robertson Strike. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put in a automatic banding machine, and they picked me and taught me to run it. Stanley Corporation taught me to run it and everything like that, you know. I did that for a long time, and then, I don't know, something happened, and a doctor visit or whatever, and I took off work, and I didn't tell him, you know. I think I did call in, but I didn't tell him, you know, too much, and when I went back in, why,
Yeah.
since that job, you know, was priority, nobody else could run it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I went to Durham's down there, Durham Roofing and Sheet Metal. I worked in a sheet metal shop for 47 years.
47 years, man.
Did all kinds of sheet metal work, did all kinds of roofing work,
That's it, right?
and that's what I retired from.
47 years. What do you do for a hobby? This?
My hobbies growing up, after I got married, was motorcycles,
Yeah.
and I didn't start working on these lawnmowers until about 10 years ago.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, I did my own stuff, you know, but I got to work with another guy up off of Boyles Road, Frank Abel, and I still work with him quite a bit. We call it each other every day, talk things over and this and that. And he comes down and gets parts from me. I go up there and get parts from him. But over the years, I've owned 9 of these Gold Wings
Yeah.
and numerous other motorcycles. And me and the wife love to ride those things. We didn't, you know, ride very far. I was working too much. I run a business for myself for 20 some odd years, had my own crew, plus working for Durham's down there.
Yeah. Wow.
And I was never home. She put the kids through school, and she went to all the games and everything like that there, you know, that they was in. And I was never home, so, you know, she did all that. And then after a few years, things got better down at Durham's there, you know, where I wasn't working too much and making more money. She took a job at the post office for 18 years.
18 years, wow.
And you can't say that she retired from there because they let her go when USPS started cutting back on everything, you know, hours and wages and stuff like that. And she was one of them that got cut. So we're not doing anything now. She don't do anything now, just a housewife, and that's brilliant.
Yeah. Did she work here in Borden, or?
She did.
This man?
Yep.
I'm over here.
She started.
Over here?
No,
With Subway's at?
no, she didn't start down here. They tried to hire her down here, but she didn't start until they built a new post office.
Oh, is that right? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And over the years, you know, we just been in a little bit of everything there, and raised 3 kids, and they're all married, and got kids of their own. My only granddaughter is a school teacher in the Creditville School Corporation. Not married. And I got one daughter and son-in-law that lives in Scottsburg. And my oldest daughter and her husband, they live out of Milltown. Brian and Tracy, that's the boy, the only boy we had. He worked for making trusses for 6 or 8 years for, I don't know the number of company, but anyway, he went to work for Walmart then. And he's still at Walmart. Long time. And his wife worked in the office, so she made his check out, so she knew what he's making on.
How long you lived in Borden?
48 years, right here.
48 years in Borden. Wow. How many people have you waved to over 48 years?
Oh, Lord.
I know we waited for a long time before I ever stopped to talk to you.
Well, you know, when Brewers was open over there, you know, everybody come in there and knew us, you know. And we talked to them when they come in there. And of course, I knew them all personally and everything. You know, most of the people right around me I knew personally. and including the town marshal, Bob Hardy, from years ago. Used to live right across the alley from me.
Is that right?
Yeah. And, oh, I don't know, 2 years ago, we had a fire and burn out here, and we just got back in the house last May. Had to gut the house out and everything like that, and everything in it's brand new. The insurance company still owes me money on that part of it. Anyway, yeah. We got her and I had to put the kitchen cabinets in, mount them up. I had to set the commodes. They put new kitchen cabinets in, and they put half of them on the wall.
Oh, wow.
And walked out, left them in the kitchen floor. So I got my son-in-law, who was a trim carpenter, to come down here and install them for us. And shoot, I don't know, last couple of years, I just been working on these little engines here.
Yeah. Well, they
buying and selling.
in 48 years, what kind of changes have you seen in Borden? Anything changed? Or?
Oh my God, yeah, that store over there. When we first moved in here, Bill Brewer, that was the original owner, him and Irene, they built a big white house on the corner down here of White Street there. And we've seen people come and go, you know, and different workers and this and that. And we got acquainted with one of the guys who made pizza down there, and we'd get a pizza over there, and he'd load that thing up about an inch and a half out. They made the best bologna and cheese sandwiches you ever put in your mouth.
You're talking about right here at Brewers, right? Brewers General Store?
Yeah.
Let me take a picture of that real quick as,
Okay.
as you're talking. I just want to
Okay.
let everybody know where we're at. Let me see. That's where we're at here. This used to be Brewers General Store right there. So, yeah.
So they finally, Bill and Irene both passed away, and then the kids took over, and Ronnie and Debbie, that was Bill Burr's junior, B they called him. That was his two kids. They run it for a while, and then they finally wasn't making too much money, so they brought in their brother-in-law on the deal and whatever like that, and that lasted about a year. And finally they just couldn't run it anymore. They didn't have no customers coming in and wasn't making any money. They had an auction.
Yeah.
And a couple guys from, one guy was one of the owners, was David Scott. And he is the owner of a strip club down in New Albany.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
Yeah. Rustic Frog.
Oh, yeah. I know.
You ever hear that?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
David owned that.
Is that right?
And Sean McCartney, he was from Beacon. He was the event coordinator for 4th Street Live.
Oh,
And so they tried to, fix this thing up. They put in newer drywall and tore down all the ceilings, took up floors and this and that, put a new roof on the back because it leaked terrible. Never did do anything to the upstairs. And well, they did put a new roof on it. And so David moved to Las Vegas.
Oh, is that right?
And he's doing the same thing out there. He's an event coordinator.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
So he had his name removed from the deed and everything, so David Scott is the only owner of
David
the
Scott's
place
on
now.
this.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have plans for it, or anything?
They talked about plans. Nothing ever, come of it. They couldn't get anything, going and, really together because there was only one bathroom in the place and it was upstairs. So they undertook to add 2 new bathrooms, downstairs. And they got the walls up and drywall on the inside like that. And set the commodes, and that's as far as that went. So,
Yeah.
there's drywall still sitting in there that needs to be hung someplace, The floors still aren't fixed, and the ceilings are just hanging in there. You can see where they used to be the asbestos ceilings in there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They tore all that down because it leaked over many years and it just got saturated, so they tore it all down. Then one time they tried to put a sound studio in there, and they took and put up insulated material on the walls, you know, to soak up the noise and everything. Well, that didn't go anywhere either. So right now it's used for storage.
Kermit, do you know what year they quit having the store? Do you have any idea?
Started in 1939.
1939. So.
Mm-hmm.
And we closed what, 10 years ago, 15 years ago? I remember
Probably
Charlie.
going on 10 years anyway.
I remember Charlie Thomas. He was working in there.
Who's that?
Charlie Thomas. He was cutting. I think he was back in the meat back here where the big thing with the
Charlie
cheese was.
Thomas.
I think it's his daughter-in-law or something. Yeah, her husband owned it at that time. I think it was Brewers. I think. Is that the same Brewers that owned the liquor store in Pekin? I think.
Ronnie did. He had that liquor joint up there, Pekin.
Yeah, I think it's his daughter. It's Charlie's daughter. I think Charlie worked part time for him.
Okay.
One time back here, but I remember that. But that's the only thing I did. Come
I
up here.
vaguely remember him.
Yeah, he's 83. I remember we come up here from the state. I worked for the state, mowing grass and stuff,
Yeah.
mowing right away. And we'd stop here on the mowers and go in there and eat and get. And I remember Charlie being in there.
Mhm.
So that's back in.
So
probably
you
the
had
90s.
some of them sandwiches years ago.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, we got stuff for about every day we was up here working. So,
Mm-hmm.
but anyway, but Kimball's, you saw Kimball's in their heyday, I guess, and fall away. Yeah.
My father-in-law and brother-in-law both worked at Kimball's, and I'd work at a New Albany. I should have got on down there, you know, because they had a real good profit-sharing plan, you know. But I worked at New Albany and Sid.
Yeah.
I started to work at Hayes over at Salisbury at one time. The superintendent asked me to go to work for him, and he said, "No, I want you to stay." And of course I had this job there. I said, "When this job opens back up, I'm gonna be going back to it." He said, "I'm glad you told me that." He said, "I don't want to hurry you and have you leave us in a year or so."
Oh.
So I didn't ever go work at Hayes down there. So
What other changes have you seen over the years that you want to talk about? Anything?
well, when we first started, let's see, it was,
I know the school's changed a lot.
oh my God, yeah, they built onto that thing and this and that, and the old high school burned. My wife used to go to the old high school up there, and then they built a new one, and then they built onto that. And there'd been a bunch of changes. Borden Ridge over here, that wasn't even thought of. Was J.B. McKinley had a farm right over there where that subdivision is.
Yeah. Oh, Hayfield, isn't it?
And
Pastors.
after J.V. After he got out of it, whatever like that there, then his son took it over, him and his wife, and I don't know who it was that was into liquor, but one of them got into liquor and they lost that place over there.
Yeah.
And then they built that subdivision over there. And that's been there about 25 years now.
Yeah. Well,
I know a lot of people over there. Got some friends, and I don't have no enemies. I don't think I got any enemies around here at all.
I know everybody I talk to in the subdivision that, as I've been mowing some grass, and then one lady, her mower don't work, and she said, I got to take it down to Karnes. I don't know if she did or not. She said, no, that's what she's telling me.
I worked on a bunch of them for them.
Yeah.
Sold 2 or 3 of them over there.
Yeah,
That guy that lives in the corner house there, name was Thomas, I think, last name, and he got killed in a motorcycle accident a couple years ago out on the Greenbelt Highway there in Louisville.
Oh, yeah.
And he T-boned the car running about 80 miles an hour.
Motorcycle, right? Yeah, that's my neighbor. He lives right behind me. Yeah.
Yeah. Alan
And he had his son just had a motorcycle wreck a couple months ago.
His son did?
His son did, yeah, sure did. And they told me yesterday, somebody was telling me yesterday, Paul Brewer told me that he's home, but he's walking around limping. Yeah, his son.
The older one?
Yeah, I think so. He just got married or just moved out. He just had moved out. Yeah, that's what they were telling me. So.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know it either yesterday. That's when Paul was telling me he come by the house politicking.
Yeah, he come by here.
Yeah.
Kevin Akers come by here a while ago doing the same thing, and I told him, I said, I've got friends on both sides. I probably won't vote for none of them.
It's a small town politics, ain't it? Yeah. But you kind of really don't know what to say when people come to you, because I've had both of them come to both sides of both teams.
Yeah.
You know? So anyway, we just do what bad things best, I guess. But I'm gonna talk to Paul too, because he started the fire department here.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling me
He's
that.
been in the fire department a long time.
Yeah, he started it. He said he wasn't no fire department at all here, and they
he's
started over with Norman Jeans was that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he said.
Right next to Bob over there. Can you think of his last name? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I think I better shut this off. It's done filled up.
Yeah, I'm interrupting you, Carmen. But is there anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to say?
Let me get this gas out of here. This stinking stuff.
Okay.
Trying to drain the tank because that gasoline probably been in there, God, I don't know how long.
I heard it clicking. That's what he's doing, he's pumping it out.
Yeah.
Look at the highway here. Let everybody see where you live out here. Yeah. You got the good place here.
Yeah, I was in the motorcycle. Well, I still am in motorcycles, and I've been in CB radio since 1964.
1964. Wow.
I've been running CB radios. I've talked around the world.
Is that
I don't
right?
know how many times.
What's that ham radio thing? Or is it
No, it's not ham.
Oh,
It's just
CB.
Citizen Band.
Just CB? Wow.
Just Citizen Band.
All right.
Nah, different ones. Friends of mine tried to get me into ham, and I just didn't want it. And one thing it was, you had no code. You don't have no code now.
Yeah.
And I wasn't about to pick that stuff up, and try to learn that, all them codes and everything like that. And anyway, I just stayed with the CB.
Yeah, that's good.
But I've worked on motorcycles in here, and I've worked on trucks and cars. I pulled 2 engines out of here, one out of the truck and one out of the car in this little garage.
Is that right? Well,
I can still got the chain hoys hanging up there.
yeah.
But nothing really exciting, happened around here in all that length of time. No bad, neighbors, nothing like that. And
That's a good report. That's good. That's really good.
never had anything stolen and all that.
Is that right? Wow, that's great. Yeah.
Had a guy that took a bumper jack out of my truck. I used to park in front of the house out there, and he took the bumper jack out without me knowing it. Well, he brought it back.
Yeah. Oh, he just took and borrowed it, huh?
And that's all he. But I didn't know it, until about a week later or something like that. He brought it back.
Wow.
But it's been a quiet place. I've never had no problem with neighbors. Several years ago, when the kids are still home, I had some problems with some of the guy run a restaurant, Pixley. Guy run a restaurant up here, and those houses have already been torn down years ago. And he's always getting into it there, with my son. And Green, I think it was Marshall at that time. And he come down here, you know, and he get on my son. I told him, I said, unless you're going to arrest that kid, you better get your ass out of here. And he quit harassing him, you know. But he wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
But that's the only problem we ever had with any of the local kids around here, or anything like that. Been a quiet place to live.
I know I see you out walking your dog every day.
Yeah, about 4 times a day.
4 times a day.
Yeah. I get up 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm usually on the streets by 5:15, and I'll walk down around the subway and go up around the community building and cross over the intersection, go over and walk in the school parking lot. You know, it depends on, you know, where he gets done at.
I followed you up the alley the other day. I wasn't going to blow my horn. I wasn't going to. Followed you up the alley here.
Yeah.
I let you. I said I was going to let him walk. That's good.
Yeah, we still walk. He's about 11 years old now.
11 years old.
I bought him when he was 6 weeks old, and he's not blind yet, but he's got cataracts and kind of got a film over his eyes, and it's getting hard of hearing. Gets around good yet.
Yeah.
We've had numerous, you know, pets get killed around here, dogs and cats.
Now, was your wife born here in Borden? Or?
She was born 1 mile up the highway, right across there from water company.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
She was born in that little white house that sits down over there.
Yeah, I know exactly. I looked at the house by one time.
Yep.
Yeah, it was for sale about back in the 80s, early 80s. 80, probably 85 or 86, somewhere along there. And we was looking for a place in Pekin, and I saw one for sale there. And I saw that little house sits down right there beside the culvert. That's the one right beside the culvert, right there. I guess it's it. And yeah, we looked at that years ago, and then also another house up here in Borden. But
I never did know that was for sale.
yeah, it was right there beside that, you know, creek or whatever it is, and we was sitting right beside it, and we stopped and looked at it. Yeah.
You was looking at the house next door to where she lived.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you was looking at the house.
And I was a little
next door.
concerned about the creek. You know?
Yeah, right next to the creek.
Yeah, because back then they was telling me that things used to flood, you know.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of wondered about that. So.
Oh, I've seen water coming up to the back door up there where she was born.
Is that right? Yeah.
But once they put these watersheds in.
Yeah, you haven't seen any water through here, have you?
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I've seen water up the other side of the highway over there since I've lived here.
Is that right?
Yeah. That dry fork here, they call it, you know, it run down, you know, over there, you know, right for the funeral or the graveyard, and crossed under the bridge down here is going out of town.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen water all the way up the highway there.
Yeah. Well, Kermit, I won't keep you too long. I just wanted to talk
Well,
about
that's
something.
fine.
Saw you sitting there, man. Thought about starting.
I hope that, you know, you got some information.
We got a lot of good
you know.
information. Yeah, I'll turn it over to the Historical Society, so they're going to put it out and whatever they do with it, you know. So, but it's just oral history. What it is just adding to the history of the town, you know, and people that live here now, and still, because you know we lost the barber here just a few.
Dean Johnson.
Yeah, just lost him and different ones. I interviewed AJ and Marilyn McKinley the other day.
Uh-huh.
And they, I think he said he was born right down from the funeral home down here. And he's always, I mean, they traveled a lot, but he said, said always come
Yeah,
on
he's
board.
principal up here at one time.
Yeah, he was. I know he said he was he's done a lot with the school over the years. He was Spanish teacher and English teacher for the high school things, different things. So he's a lot of history here in this town, you know. So that's what we wanted to do. Just they asked me to do it, so I wanted to just get everybody, if anybody can. It's got some, I would say he got some age on him, but you know, got some experience. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, years ago when we first moved down here, well, when I first, we was already living here. When I first went to work for Durham's down there, we put a roof on that store building.
Is that right?
That had a slate roof on it.
Oh, wow.
And we tore all that off of there and put down black paper, you know, plywood and black paper and everything. And
What a job, huh?
and re-roofed. Oh, it was, yeah.
Oh, I know it had to be. Oh, wow.
Yep. And it's been roofed 3 times since then.
Is that right? Wow. That might make a good historical building.
It needs a lot of work on the inside. It don't look too bad on the outside, but if they don't get to work, that foiler's going to fall off that roof one of these days.
Yeah, that's,
That little old 4x4 spindly post, the timber underneath of it's rotting out. That whole corner is going to
Yeah.
fall off of there.
well, hopefully somebody is friendly to the community
Yeah.
and not a strip club.
They was talking about that at one
I know
time.
that's what you were saying a while ago. When you said that, I thought, oh my, we don't need that for sure.
And,
but I would like to see the old building, restored back to like it was.
I've got some stuff stored over there. I got an early American bedroom suit that's been stored over there since 2 years ago when the fire was,
Yeah.
And I'll probably sell it one of these days or give it to one of the kids or something. I don't know what.
Karnes, anything else you want to share?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, we're closed with that, and just want to say thank you.
Okay, Marvin.
Yeah, you bet.
Appreciate it.
You have a good day now.
You take care.
All right, thanks.